Tap House.
Hi guys, welcome to Tap House. I'm your host E, and there is M, and welcome to the Shire.
The Shire?
Just because the beer, it looks like it's
Looks like what? Lord of the Rings?
Yes, exactly.
Tolkien? Is that the guy that wrote the books?
Yes. The beer we have here, what is it, M? Because I can't even read it actually.
I think it's called the Jabberwocky Imperial IPA. It has 114 IBUs. That means how sour it is, right? Or how bitter?
Yeah, how bitter?
And it has 8.5 alcohol per volume, which is pretty strong. It's a lone pint, so it's a normal beer size. Normal draft size.
Yeah, I wanted to show off the box, how they did it. It looks pretty dope. Like, I've never seen a unique box like this in a while. Now it's okay to drink alone. Oh, that's pretty cool. But if it's from the Lone Pine Brewery, like M said. And look, whenever you open it from the side, it has floral stuff in the inside of the box. I don't know if I can see it because it's pretty far away. And for listeners, it looks like I said, a Lord of the Rings kind of style box.
Because I think very fantasy-like.
Exactly. Because the hops look like dragon scales.
Middle Earth.
Yes, that's what I was going for, Middle Earth. But we do have this description on the back of the bottle. Do you want to read it?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? This thing is really fancy. And usually when they're really fancy like this, they either go two ways for me. They don't taste good or they're really fucking good.
That's what I seen it, because it's passion fruit. Oh, I'll read it in the back right now. But let me see. Let me get into it real quick. And by the way, the image of the front is like a dragon.
It's a demon.
Oh, demon. Yeah.
It's not a dragon.
That is true. But it has wings.
Dragons have like long faces. This one has more like a demon face.
So that looks pretty unique. So,
and then there's a sword through the hop, or the whatever that thing's called that they make beer with.
The hop, yeah. Beautiful.
I thought it was a shot at first, like a shot, like you would give medication.
Oh yeah, we think that's like a remedy,
right? I thought that's what it was at first, but no, it's a sword.
Oh, you're talking about on the hops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is a sword. It's a purple sword. Okay, so this is what this says in the back. The Jabberwocky.
Let me help you out.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's really fucking actual reading it. I was like, oh, that's great.
No, it seemed like it needed to go with it.
It will. Let me see if I can get an accent. The Jabberwocky of Imperial India. No, I can't. Imperial Indian Ale, Pale Ale, Golden Promises Malt, and two very pungent whole cone American hops. This brew is hopped so heavily that post-boil, after all of the wort has been transferred to the fermenter, the hop mass at the bottom of the kettle is more than 1 foot deep. Post-fermentation, the Jabberwocky is dry hop with the colossal amounts of the same two hops. The beer is named after a monster we all hold dear. Tasting notes: it has deep golden wood head made of hop resin, light malt breadiness, heading motherfucker. See, that's why I asked you to read it, because this past 2 days, anyways, this past 2 weeks. Okay, so deep golden with the head made of hops resin, light malt breadiness hidden beneath an onslaught of pungent hoppy tropical furnace. Shun the frumious bandersnatch, shun it. I'm sure that's part of the thing. Yeah, I fucked that up pretty bad, but yeah, it's passion fruit. And then, oh yeah,
what is passion fruit though?
I never got it.
I don't think I've ever had a passion fruit.
Oh, we had one, I think, but
no, like the actual.
Oh, the actual fruit.
Yeah, is it a fruit?
I don't know.
Isn't it a citrus?
I think.
Are citrus and fruit the same thing?
Possibly.
Because like an orange is a fruit, right? But isn't that considered citrus, kind of like a lime is?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's kind of like that.
But it's not like a sweet fruit.
No. So you go ahead and try it real quick, and I'm surprised it has more shit on the back.
Oh, you have to show it to the camera, right? You have to perform it.
Not yet. Lone Pine is brewery alone. This is what the Pine Brewery. You know what? I should shut up because I'm not gonna make it justice. So let's go ahead and drink this. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, that's really good. That's real good. It smells good. It tastes good. It has a strong aftertaste though. That's kind of bitter and irony, kind of.
Let me show them out there real quick.
It's good. I feel like I'm gonna get drunk. I haven't ate. Not since noon.
I've been messed up. It's pretty dark.
Oh, it's dark? I couldn't even tell.
It
It has more of an orange taste than it does anything else.
I guess you're right about the passion. Being citrus.
The citrus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good though. It's real good. Hands down, yeah. I'm gonna say yay. I would actually drink this at a bar.
How would you even order it? Hey, give me Jabberwocky. A Jabberwocky.
Didn't this expire? It says 3/9/2020.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? 3/9/2020? When this expired?
Was that when it was brewed?
I think that's when it was brewed. I'm gonna go with that.
Hopefully.
Either way, you said it's good, it's alright.
Yeah, but you're the one that has the sensitive stomach.
That is good as
Right?
fuck. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Damn.
It's
What
real
the
good.
hell?
It's kind of sweet, but not sweet like, oh, this tastes like a soda.
You know what it tastes like?
What?
That the last bitter part, it tastes like weed.
Oh shit, I didn't think of that. Yeah, how wheat smells,
Mhm.
it tastes like it.
Does that make sense? How weed smells to taste like it?
Yeah. We're herber. Herbal.
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 No.
Very herbal.
Yeah, very herbal.
It does taste like weed-ish at the end. Well, I mean, yeah, herbalness.
I wouldn't say weed though. Yeah, herbal.
But it kind of
yeah.
smells like weed. I mean, that's the first thought of your process when you like.
Hey, you need to stop smoking weed.
It's a quarantine time. No, I haven't done it. Okay. A brownie, but that's about it.
It's good. It's real fucking good.
Yeah, I think at the end that's what
Put it back in. Did you put it in ice?
Oh yeah, I put it on ice. I made sure I put it on ice, just in
this
case.
tastes real good fucking cold.
Yeah, I need to cover it so it can get sealed off. But I think the initial flavor, I think from like it doesn't. You don't taste the passion fruit. I mean, but you do at the end kind of. But it mixed up with I think you taste everything at the end.
Yeah, if you like citrus, that starts off kind of sweet with like a hint of sweet, and it ends with like an aftertaste of a little bit of bitterness. And it's not strong. But there is an aftertaste to it. You'd like this. It's really good. It feels real summery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels real summery.
I mean, for the perfect time where we're at now, I think this is a really good beer. I am not gonna go into deep more. I'm not gonna go deep into it more, but I do recommend it, and I'm gonna say yeah on this beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
And that's tap. We just reviewed.
We just had that review.
Wait, look at this guy. I'm all over the place right now. Anyways,
Are you nervous?
I've been nervous for the past 2 weeks, man. I was alone.
Why you been nervous?
Well-
Well, have you been alone? We lived
No,
together.
no, not alone, but on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Like,
how alone can you be when you live with someone? But you kind of feel alone if you don't talk.
Yeah, you do, and that's why I mean, like, I miss you, man. I miss you. I miss talking. I mean, I'll talk to you over there, but I miss you in the podcast more.
I don't know. It's with everything that's going on. I've noticed that I'm feeling the stress and the tension, but it's not like I'm worried we can't pay our bills or I'm worried that I'm gonna catch it. That because I don't want to catch it, but I'm just kind of like mentally exhausted just thinking all the fucking time because I don't get to go out or like really unless you're watching something, and I've watched everything pretty much. Well, not literally.
You've seen a lot of animes, right? Because I've been hearing you from the
Man,
room.
I've caught up to every anime that I was watching. I've watched animes. I just started new animes, and some are okay, but like whenever you just get tired of watching stuff. You just kind of want to let go of it. At least that's how I feel. I can't. Like, I love watching TV, but man, being quarantined or like self-isolating yourself, like eventually get too much of it. To me, at least I feel like I've gotten too much of it where I'm just like, I just kind of need to stop watching shit. I need to go outside, and then I step out on the balcony, and then I'm like smoking and listening to music, and then I listen to too much music, and I'm just like, oh, that's just too much fucking music that I've been listening to. Like, I just get overwhelmed with all of the abundance of what I do. I overdo it, right?
What type of music do you listen to while you're in the patio?
I mean, everything. Whatever I'm in the mood for. If it's dancey, I like to listen to some dancing music. I kind of dance outside. I kind of dance out there. Like, I'm kind of bounce and stuff.
I was gonna say, do you like the Joker or do the whole acrobatic?
No, but I mean, I
the
would.
whole thing.
If I was just normally dancing, I bet I'd look like that. Like, it just kind of.
Well, the hair's going there.
Yeah, the hair has gotten super fucking long. Like, and it wasn't. I mean, there's a thing that I'm doing, right? And I'm not gonna like really talk about it until it happens.
Okay.
And then I'll explain, right? So, hey,
Teaser.
stay tuned, because I mean, I might come back on and explain what happens.
Because I might not even know after the podcast until he's ready to talk about it.
I like how it looks. I think it looks good on me.
Oh,
right?
okay.
The long hair, but I don't like having long hair.
It's a hassle, man. Because for me, long hair, when I go to sleep, I just hate going to sleep with long hair. Because when you wake up, you don't know where it's gonna come out or how your hair is gonna come out. Because there's always one area where it always sticks up, and even how much gel you put and everything, it's just always comes back up. It's like an everlasting penis, erection penis. I mean,
well, it's called a cow lick, but okay.
Oh, why is it called cow lick? Just because the cow
licked it and it would just stay up because of their saliva.
I don't have gel out of cow saliva.
Well, I'm guessing because their saliva is like super thick or something. Like that's why they call it a cow lick.
Like gorilla.
Or maybe when cows lick their calves, it causes their hair to stick up or something.
Probably.
That's why.
Yeah.
So the long hair is not. It doesn't really bother me. I'm kind of excited to where it gets to the point where I can put it in a ponytail. Because then that's it. I'm done. Like there's no even. I'm never gonna fuck with it. I'm not gonna like comb it. Well, I'm gonna comb it, but like not put product in it. I'm just gonna have it in a ponytail.
But you will put product when it comes to like showering, right?
No, I mean product like
gel and stuff like that.
Gel mousse. Because like washing it, yeah, I condition it like every day.
You know who has great taste when it comes to finding certain products for your hair, so it could be like beautiful and smooth.
Your cousin or what?
El Pep. Sorry, K.
K.
That guy. He spends.
I feel like my hair looks better than his.
Yeah, in some ways I think it does too as well. But he has.
You want to keep the natural oils from your scalp though.
No, he has natural oil. Oh, he has that plus what he puts on kind of rejuvenates the hair without being like damaged. But he spends, I think, I don't know. He told me. I say like, okay, tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I think he says $45 on shampoo. Like
$45?
Yeah, or probably like on per product, like gel wise, like almost 40 bucks.
I have a bottle of shampoo and a bottle of conditioner that I've had for 6 months that hasn't gone.
Mine too.
Because I don't put a lot of shampoo or conditioner. Because I've heard from the girls that I hang out with.
Damage your hair, right?
Yeah, it damages your hair. You also want to keep the natural oils that your scalp produces.
That's what girls aren't supposed to shower not their hair.
Wash their hair.
Like,
wash their hair.
But then like
wash their hair like they're not supposed to wash it with shampoo.
But I mean,
they still get it wet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like they still get it wet, but like that doesn't take away the smell of the day, you know? So
I mean, it depends how dirty you are.
Yeah, because
I assume washing your hair like with water takes away that smell.
Because for me, whenever I say, for instance, like my hair how it is right now, I go shower. No, if I don't shower, I could smell my scalp.
Really? I can never smell my scalp.
Probably because but only when I have it short for some reason. When I have it long, you can't really smell it. But like I feel it dirty when I lay on the pillow, and then when I shower, like I don't know, I just can't think of the fact that washing it just washing with water and going to sleep. I feel like it's still dirty in my mind, you know. But I know some girls tend to wait 3 days until they shower with their product with hair. But then I'm like, well, don't you feel kind of dirty? But it's supposed to be good for your scalp, like you said, the whole naturals and stuff like that.
Well, the oils like keep the hair, the actual hair, moisturized. But you also have to think about what a lot of women do. Just because this is just a general statement, right? Most women, they do things to their hair. You know, most guys, what they'll do is cut it and then they'll put product in it, right? Like mousse or gel or whatever. But most girls, they'll dye it, they'll cut it, they'll thin it out because it's so long.
You kill dead.
Yeah. They'll flatten it, they'll curl it. That causes damage to the skin. It breaks it, right?
That is true. Yes.
I don't do nothing to the skin, to the hair, right? I don't do nothing to my hair. I just wash it, right? So I feel like my hair looks really good because I don't really fuck with it.
That is true, because all I have is Head and Shoulders. That's all I use, and you're not supposed to use it. I mean, shampoo. You're not supposed to put it. You're not supposed to put it on your scalp. You're supposed to put it just on the hair. But I mean, for a guy that has short hair, you know, like how am I supposed to measure the hairs? You know, put it in.
Well, what I hear from Head and Shoulders, that people that use it is like once you start using it, you can't go away from it because it just causes your scalp to be.
I think that's probably true.
Fuck you,
dandruff. Head and Shoulders, but thank you again for letting that the dandruff go.
Dandruff,
everywhere.
Yeah. Like I've never had issue with dandruff.
But I think dandruff also has to do, probably I'm wrong, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but I think also kind of anxiety and stress because it leads for shedding.
I don't know. It's a dry scalp, so it has to do with your oils not, like, you're not producing enough oil.
Yeah.
So someone that has like eczema, I would assume that's also another issue.
Yeah,
Dry scalp.
I have that.
Yeah.
Psoriasis or eczema. I always forget which one of the two I have, but I know it's the one that's the skin falls like crazy.
Well, it's irritated. No, like it's
Yeah,
dry.
it's
not.
dry.
It's not that it falls. It's just dry.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have
Psoriasis.
The other
No,
one.
I have psoriasis.
Because
now.
eczema is all around your body,
Okay, psoriasis.
and you only really have it on your knees, right?
Yeah, and in my head. So I think psoriasis and eczema is the other one.
I don't even know what psoriasis is.
I forget. I always forget. My doctor tells me I have little dots. Like this one right here. I don't know if you can tell right there. The little red dot. That's when stress comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It comes all around my body, but it only comes and goes every so often. Sometimes in the cold. And then the irritation and dry skin all over my head. That's why I don't go. Back then I used to have fades and edge ups, but I felt very uncomfortable with myself or insecure because I used to have little white dots all over my head. Back in high school, especially, like they would tell me, "Hey, you got comb in your hair. Did somebody comb in your head?" And I'm like, "Bro, no." You know, so every day I would like scratch every single part that's white until it turns red, so it could look like it's just a scratch rather than cum. And then it just became a shit process. And all of a sudden, I decided just to one day, instead of cutting it fade, I would just do like a 3 or 2 all around, so you can't really notice it. But what I notice now when I get older, the more longer my hair is, the more irritated my head is. There's less shorter the hair is, better for my skin.
Mm-hmm. The only issue that I have whenever my hair grows out is that I start to break out more on my face. Just because it gets the oils from the hair gets on my forehead, and then if I'm growing out my hair, usually I'm not shaving either, just because I'm like, well, fuck, I don't.
You have a good thing going on your face, facial hair.
You have a good thing going on your face. Thanks.
Very attractive there.
Your face, good.
Hey, okay.
No, I don't. Actually, I don't like it.
No, it looks good on you.
I like whenever I have like the goatee and it's cleaned up.
Yeah, I'm saying right now. Kind of a 5 o'clock shadow with goatee, it looks pretty badass on you. You kind of like a Antonio Banderas style.
Well, this is like me having shaved in like 2 months, though. Right? Like it doesn't grow.
Keep it like that.
It doesn't fucking
honestly
grow. I was actually thinking of shaving it this weekend.
No, dude, I think it looks good on you. Nah, and I don't give you compliments. You know that shit.
I think you're fucking with me.
No,
exactly. You don't give me compliments.
No. And okay,
like this dumb fuck.
You want me to tell you the honest truth without it?
What? I look like a little kid?
No, your face looks fat.
What? Because I'm fat. The fuck? The fuck?
No, but I mean, like, it feels like your cheeks look just big, like big, even though you're not big.
I look round.
Yeah, you're round. But with that,
my face looks round.
With that, for some reason, it gives us a contour on your face.
You can see my jawline.
Yes. And I think that's when I seen it, I was like, oh fuck, I never noticed your beard. I was always noticing your hair.
I honestly feel like I look like a different person though, because of the long hair and this right here.
He's single girls. Check him out. J Trey, hook him up with some chicks.
J Trey, why J Trey? Does he know a lot of chicks?
On Twitter today, he was somebody asked, hey, any best Spotify podcast? And for some reason, he said our podcast, right? And he goes, oh, but just look at this episode. And he put his episodes that he was on. And then she's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, no, thank you. And then she replied back, oh, you're on those episodes. He's like, yeah. So I was like, fuck you, J Trey, man. This guy over here.
He knows how to promote, man.
He knows how to promote.
He's really good at it.
Dude, this whole week, I recorded an episode last week by myself. That was the worst episode I have ever done in my entire life.
You told me you walked into my room, you're like, that was a shit show.
It was fucking shit show. K said it was okay. I'm like, nah, you're fucking lying. Don't be a yes man to me, bro. Say the truth, you know.
How is he doing? Is he itching to come back?
He's I haven't seen him, dude.
Oh, you haven't?
We work different shifts now.
Oh, y'all work different shifts.
Yeah, we just text like every so often. He's like, hey, how's the podcast going? Hey, you know, we're like kind of like distantly kind of sad at seeing each other because I don't see the other guy too. My other coworker, the one that came here.
Oh yeah.
They're together in a different team, and I'm in a whole other team.
I thought he was gonna start working with your team.
No, it's all him. So we're for the audiences, we're separate. Me and Kay are separate. We work together, but they divided us. So that team is like, well, I always call it. That team is like very like. They like to talk. Our team is like the ones that are friends with them, but they separated us. So we're just like the awkward kind of people. So we just work. You know what I mean? So we're like, we're just gonna work. Rather like why waste time? You know?
Yeah.
But so that episode, the first episode was great. The one with the beer, right there. By the way, it's not called Sharon. It's called Karen. My sister corrected me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was Sharon. I keep calling her Sharon.
CH.
Yeah.
And then ARON.
Mm-hmm. So it's Karen actually. So that beer was the only reason why the episode was fun is
Wouldn't
because
it be Sharon?
that's what I said, Sharon or Sharon, but she's no, it's Karen, because she knows all that English. You know, she's a teacher, English teacher.
You know what? Your sister's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about
No,
it.
and she wanted to do Zoom or Skype calls on the podcast to talk about it, like do little mini episodes. They were telling me how to run my episodes. Like, hey, dude,
You know what'd be funny though, to do a Zoom where she's on the podcast,
that'd be great.
just because it would feel, because look, the setup already feels like,
Unnatural.
well, not unnatural. It just feels like a talk show host kind of shit. Like,
That's true.
Like I'm your sidekick, and I'm supposed to throw you like zingers and
Yeah.
be quick and witty, and I'm like, that's not gonna fucking happen because I
That's
ain't
true.
good at that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and I just do the commentary, and you're like, you're running the show, right? And then you can have a special guest with your little Zoom shit.
Yeah, right here. It's like a picture of my computer in the middle, and it has their face right there.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It would be
especially
nice.
it would be an interesting way to spend time with your family.
That's true, because I told her you can have my other focus right, because I have the one over here. So I'll just give you a mic, and you could talk over there, and then whenever I have my people back, I'll get the mic back. I'll think about that eventually. That sounds like an interesting idea, because they wanted me to do like, hey,
You can pass that mic around. You can give it to your sister, and then your other sister,
and then we all get Corona.
and then Kay can get it.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's what I
Well, a Corona only lasts on metal, which this is mostly metal. It don't survives on the longest it survives on items material is 5 days, and that's metal and something else.
I
think
thought
it's
it was
plastic.
cardboard. It was 7 days. Or on surface it said it was 7 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Last time, from what I know, last time it was just 5 days, and metal was the longest.
Oh, metal was the longest?
I might be incorrect if there's new data, right?
It's always new. Yeah, I'm sure it's always new. Data
That was
coming
maybe
out.
like a week and a half, and you know how with the whole epidemic, like it feels like new shit is always
Yes,
coming up, which is a good
exactly.
thing. The more we know, the better, right? But yeah, if you let somebody borrow it and then you bring it back the following week when it's time to podcast again, it wouldn't be on there anymore.
That's true. And then from there,
And then you could just also
Yeah,
spray it down with
wash it
Lysol.
down.
Well, not wash it down. You're gonna break the.
Yeah, I
Microphone,
mean, damp it
yeah.
with Lysol. Because they wanted me to do the episodes like every Wednesday, do a mini cast, talk about your life. Because I told them, yeah, the whole episode is me talking about my life. And he's like, well, why don't you just do that for mini cast? I'm like, no. The podcast, it's all my life. Like, it's what I'm going through, what I've been through, and what it is, and me and K's and M's. Like, it's just our general opinions in our life, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can't just take away that and put it on a mini cast because that doesn't seem genuine to me. And I go, it's basically also because what if one day I have a kid? If he wants to know how I was, listen to my podcast, bro.
Which, that brings up a question that I have for you. If you had one subject that you would create your podcast pretty much based it all around this one subject, what would it be? You know how comedians have like comedy in comedians honestly just kind of talk about their lives and what's going on, right? It's a commentary podcast.
Because I've been listening. By the way, shout out if y'all in quarantine. Obviously, all of y'all had to be in quarantine.
Oh, but you know what? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
No, you're fine.
Interrupt you, but
it feels good being interrupted.
Comedy Bang Bang, Comedy Bang Bang. Like they do skits.
Yeah, they do
right?
improv.
Yeah,
Improv
and then
on
there's
air.
the murder mystery ones where they talk about murders and stuff like that. True crime. It's called true crime.
Yes.
Right. So, like, is there a subject that you would want to do?
If I knew knowledge of it.
Yeah,
like
if you had
fantasizing about what I could do, rather than knowing what I have now.
Well, whatever. If you had the sources for it, the resources for it.
I guess what I would be if I had the resources, I would be
like you wouldn't have to. Obviously, you're gonna be putting work in, right? Because you're gonna have to do research.
Yeah, exactly. And that's.
But you had the resources to do it. Like you had a partner.
Yes. If I had to choose one, it would be art and consciousness.
Okay.
And like talk about art and like talk about how we perceive things and how it could fuck with our minds and how things could it basically does a whole thing about art and how it consciously makes you do things, or how art affects the visual person or the person who's looking at it, and how sometimes even like what's the artist was thinking, was he on drugs on the time when he was doing some type of art? Because I don't know if you can tell up here, this is a Vincent Van Gogh. Did I say it right? Man, gosh, am I right?
I don't know art.
The one with the ear ripped off.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I'm an art teacher and I need to know this shit. Anyways, I mean, I'm not yet. Because by the way, I went back to art ed, so I'm gonna become a teacher rather than becoming graphic design. I don't know if I tell you that.
No, do you switch majors like every year or something?
Switch it up. Yeah, I just hit the flip. Nah.
I just hit the.
Wait,
I just hit the switch. Flip.
No, because it's weird because the graphic design was gonna take me 5 years to graduate, and it's basically me getting a master's degree. It's the same equivalent of me getting the master's degree. But then I went back, and then it feels like it's still the same thing. But I am more passionate about teaching people about art rather than me doing art.
Even though you don't know Van Gogh.
Yeah, no, I do. But like, it's just for me. I know where my limits are at. I love art. I love drawing, but I'm not perfectionist. So whenever I do a drawing, I think it's fine. People would think do better, but I'm like, no, that's cool. So I'm not in that sense where, I mean, I could do visual designs, I could do graphic designs. I'm glad that I dabbed into that kind of world because now I know what to do and how to edit things and how to perceive if businesses wants me to edit some certain graphic design. I know how to do that stuff, but my way, not the way I'm taught. Like it's just a self-taught kind of situation. But I've never found it like. I guess because I just don't draw as much as I used to. Because I'm like, this is kind of like I like to do.
This is
my thing right now.
Your creative output.
Yeah, and I guess because also, my mentality right now is not in like drawing. It's just me just finishing school and surviving rather than like.
You're in survival mode.
Yeah, I'm in survival mode. So like I need to go into survival mode and teach the kids how to survive in the future. Like I don't know. It's weird because I want to be that teacher where like, hey, art is something that's like not just a piece of shit drawing if you just don't know how to suck. Every drawing, it's its own way unique. It's its own fingerprint, right? You could say Picasso, obviously. I mean, he had to be a great artist before he drew abstract art because that's what I've been told in school. Like you just can't just do what Picasso did. Like he knew how to draw the body, the anatomy, and everything like that, and then eventually he subtracted and made it abstract. And I didn't realize at the time that made sense because I used to just draw abstract rather than learning how to draw hands. I still know how to draw hands. I'm a 30-year-old that still can't draw hands.
I'm a 30-year-old that still can't draw hands.
That's true.
We're on the same page, bro.
Oh, that's good.
I'm pretty sure you're on the same page with a lot of people.
So,
but as an artist, you're saying.
As an artist, right? I'm always drawing faces. I'm always drawing ears. Even then, I can draw that. So whenever I draw things, I feel like, for me, that's my abstract art way of drawing things, and it doesn't seem. It still does. I'm always very insecure and criticizing myself and how to draw it. So like, at least if I'm a teacher, I'm able to justify. Like if the students feel like, oh, I feel like it's crap, this and that, like I'm able to tell them, look, it's okay to feel that way, like I feel that way all the time. Like it's okay to feel crappy about your art. Just get better and practice. Like I know my limit. Honestly, that's probably why it took me a long time to realize I'm not gonna be like the best graphic design person, or I'm not gonna be the best artist, because those people in the classes, they every day, especially in the quarantine right now, I'm sure they're probably loving it because they get to draw online.
They had a passion for it.
Yeah, so they get to do a lot of stuff. What I do is I just come home. I just want to watch some TV. If I don't have the passion where I want to draw right away, I shouldn't be a graphic designer, But I have the passion to teach people about art and let them know how it can make you feel great. It can make you feel powerful. It can make you feel any type of way you possibly can. And it could be your own creative, unique outlet. So for me, I learn my limits, and I know I'm not going to be the biggest designer or anything like that, but I will. I have knowledge where it comes to like how I have knowledge where I could teach kids. It's okay if you're not that good, but just keep practicing, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't know a lot of things. A lot of artists don't know. A lot of artists are self-taught. You don't have to go through a system. You could teach yourself, and as long as you practice, you could become good. So for me, I think that's more my way of like showing the love to art. So that's why I went back to teacher ed. Mm-hmm. That makes any sense. I don't know what the fuck we got to this point.
Well, the question was what you would do with your podcast. So it's number one subject.
Art and consciousness.
And consciousness, what do you mean by consciousness? Like just without you going into another ramble of like fucking shit. Can you give us a little synopsis of what? consciousness.
Van Gogh, right? Because back then, to clean his
man, you're gonna look real fucking
dumb if it's
stupid
not
if that's not Van Gogh.
Hey,
You're gonna look real fucking stupid.
I fucking have an 8, man. I have an 8, and because I got home from 3:00 from work.
I know what that painting's called. Isn't it called Starry Night?
No, that's not Starry Night. It's a
Starry Night's the one on the boat. I mean, on the bridge, right?
No, Starry Night is just the city, and it has little swirls of like the moon, and like it's like somebody
Oh,
put their finger.
that's the Starry Night.
I forget the name of this one. I know it, but it's
I always thought that was Starry Night.
no, that one's not. But it's kind of like it
I don't
kind
know
of
it.
it kind of what does it call it? It resembles it basically because obviously the stars, kind of. But it doesn't like have that.
Well, it has this. It feels like it's the style.
Well, that's
of
his
what
that's,
Starry
that's
Night
his
is.
style.
Oh, okay.
Well, what happened was right because he's not he wasn't again my.
How about we not talk about that
Okay.
and go to consciousness?
Well, the consciousness part, right, is that he used to lick his brushes, and they were toxic. So he would kind of get high. So I would wonder, like, you think that if you didn't do that, some of his art pieces would they be what they were, And maybe that kind of led himself to go a little crazy and cut his own ear off for a girl. So like go in those consciousness parts, like this art. Does the art
the human mentality,
or like could art be amplified if you're taking substances? Because I know maybe some people can't even function with substances and they just collapse and shit. With overdose. Like what is enough and what's not enough, and what does it do to your mind where it's creatively opening tunnels and maybe dimensions and shit.
Would you experiment then?
I would love to experiment if I'm able to draw like
if you were. I mean, if that was your podcast, would you experiment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what's legal, what's not. Like, if it was weed,
Does it matter?
does it?
If it's just an expression of art?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, it shouldn't matter. I mean, like if I would have to do
Because I mean, the abuse of drugs is to satisfy a feeling that you can't, right? But if you're using it to express
educational purposes to see what it does to your mind.
But if you're using it to experiment and express an emotion or a narrative or a creativity that you want to do, does it change that? Does it not become an abuse of the drug anymore?
That's true. I don't know. That's something I have to think about.
Kind of like how people use
beer, right? Can that be a kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, like you just kind of socially drink, or you're an alcoholic.
Do you think
the in betweens?
Do you think the conversation would be as this way if we weren't drinking beers?
I think so. I'm not a big drinker,
but
not a social.
Do you think your
like
mind mentally feels more relaxed when you're drinking beer?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
body wise, or not just mind, body.
No, I feel like I'm the same person. The only difference when I become drunk is that I just become a more of a handful. But typically my handfulness.
But that's when you're out though, right?
Yeah.
Rather than being out, like just like right now, just me and you talking, sitting down. Do you think a beer does something different?
No, it does. I don't feel like it changes my mentality or attitude. Other than like, I get a little drunk and it makes me tired, or like just relaxed. But I'm typically on average a carefree person, stress-free person. So I don't really stress or worry about nothing.
It just varies on the person, right? Then
yeah, but that's with anything. Kind of like with weed, THC, right? Some people use it to eat because they're going through chemotherapy, right? And they have cancer, so they're going through chemotherapy, so it helps them eat. Some use it for pain, right? Some people use it just to get high. Some people use it to be creative. So I think it really depends on how you abuse the drug, or not even abuse the drug, but use the drug. Because even weed, I believe you can abuse. Like you use it to kind of like
cope with emotions and feelings sometimes.
Yeah,
like if it was
just kind of numb yourself from reality.
Yeah, because I think what I've heard from the Joe Rogan podcast, there's some people who smoke weed and they work out. And, before like when
it's probably because it's more of a pain reliever.
Yeah,
that you do it because they have like aches and stuff like that. And it's hard to push yourself when you know that you're a little injured, or that it's gonna be like when you get off doing your workout, you're gonna be sore because you have a bad back.
And then also what they do is smoke in the morning, like a breakfast kind of style, when they're right, like do like comedy. They said the first hour is where you should just stick to that thing and then go to workout. It's crazy how all that stuff does. But
yeah, I mean, I'm because look, I bet there's plenty of people that have done cocaine, right? And they don't get addicted to it.
it's like Adderall, right?
Yeah, Adderall too. Like that's a drug that people abuse, but it's meant to make you focus.
And that's what writers and like college students get into it. You know,
I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't know personally, but yeah, I mean, all drugs can be abused, even alcohol. I just think that some people are more capable of handling it, just because again, it comes down to you abuse a drug because you're trying to satisfy or fulfill a negative feeling that you have or a hole that you feel in yourself, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like I could say this out loud. Like, I mean, I've done weed, you know? Like, I don't.
Done weed. You sound like such a fucking nerd.
I am.
I've partaken of the devil's lettuce.
And it's great. No, because some people could handle it more than others. For me, because I think could we talk about it?
What? Talk about what?
Our little travel. I mean, our little.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to hide.
Okay, cool. Well, me, had some edibles.
We had one edible brownie. We split it in half.
And it was, I don't know how many grams it was or anything.
Don't know, but it was very strong.
Very strong. And
which E wanted to do 2 brownies, like one each. Yeah. And I was like, no, that's too much. And
well, it was crazy because I was talking to Laura about it.
You don't know how to do moderation. You just like fuck it, do the whole thing. You're like,
okay.
No. You gotta.
No, yeah, it's just because I guess
ease yourself into
because I don't know my body and I've never done that stuff like in a consistent kind of thing.
Yeah.
And well, that's what I wanted to come up with. Right? Like for me, I don't crave it, and I don't want to do it. I mean, I don't crave it, but like I don't mind doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, if I had time or if I wouldn't get in trouble for it. But when we did it, what I felt was like. If me and you did it together, I'll be okay with it in our own place, just jamming out or watching TVs, watching the stupidest fucking movie, and then we just laughing. But the fucked up thing is when I always do it, I'm always doing it on the wrong occasions. So when we did it, we went out to the club, and we were around people who weren't high, So whenever I saw them, I felt stupid and insecure by myself. So I was just consistently trying to cover my face, not to laugh.
So fucking weird.
But when I was next to you, I feel like I had this connection with you where like we knew what me and you were going through, and we were just looking at each other, and we were just laughing and looking at each other. Then I felt comfortable at that time.
Again, we're different people though. I don't know. We're not the same people. Like mentally, I feel like we're not at all. Physically, not at all. Emotionally, not at all. Like if we could be more opposite, I don't think we could. Like I don't know. Other than like how we feel about our family. I feel like that's the most common thing we have.
Probably the most similarity we have and stuff like
and
that.
Video games, right?
Shows, stuff like that.
Yeah, but we're just kind of like polar opposites of stuff like that. Like emotionally, mentally, and physically, obviously. But because when we were out and I started feeling high, right? I didn't fucking care. And that's didn't fucking care, man. Like I just didn't care. Like
and maybe it was me.
Because I'm already again a carefree, stressless person, right? So it just kind of like I just feel sleepy. I just feel like out of it.
Do you think it was due to the fact that people who you're around, you're like, because say for instance, the people who showed up, like I had like maybe some type of way of feeling towards them, so I don't want to make myself look stupid.
But even if I feel that way about people, I don't fucking care.
No, you don't care. So okay.
I've done stupid shit in front of girls that I've like
have some crush on.
Yeah, I have had crush on. I've crushed on, or like I've been in love with, or whatever, or I'm interested in. I've done stupid. I don't fucking care.
That's good. See, I need to have that. I don't know.
You don't have it though. You're never gonna have it.
I don't think I will.
It's okay.
It sucks ass.
I think the important thing is to accept that you don't have it.
And this is an example that I think
trying to be someone you're not is not good.
Exactly, because I think with my whole process, like I told, I had this discussion with Laura a while back. I'm like, I try to bring my old self to the future. If that makes any sense?
No, like I have no idea, because I feel like you've been the same person your whole life.
No, I'm talking about like socially, because I've what I've learned after like this whole before.
Well, maybe this is my thought process. Maybe you thought you were cool when you were younger.
Yeah.
Because you were doing the shit everybody else was doing. Right?
Possibly. Yes.
Right? But in reality, when you grow up and you go around people that you genuinely like and want to spend time with, the shit you used to do is not cool.
No, and
right?
Yeah,
like maybe that's your issue, is that you think, okay, well, this was cool when I was younger, or this got people to laugh, and this is what everybody else was doing. But are you still hanging out with those people?
No.
Do you still enjoy those people's company?
I haven't hung out with them, so I guess not.
Right? Like I think it becomes this idea of like, okay, well, that was the old me.
Yeah.
Right? And those were the people that like the old me. I don't want to be that old me no more. Or that's not the people I hang out with.
And see, that was where my mentality used to be back in the day, where it's like man, I used to party, I used to hype myself up back then, like, oh, I used to do all these things. But the matter is that, like, right now, like, the reason why I was talking about it is because, like, I'm an extrovert, right? But I've recently started becoming kind of mid extrovert and introvert. Like, there's times where I want to hang out with people, but
I think you've never really been an extrovert though,
right? Like, I feel like, well, but I guess because back then I used to party a lot. I feel like I kind of, in my mentality, in my mind, I was like, okay, I used to do the stupidest shit ever, and I used to do all this stuff. But like,
because to me, an extrovert is someone that just cannot be home.
Yeah,
and there was plenty of times where all you did was stay home.
Exactly, and then the thing is, every time I used to do stuff out, is because I should please a person, and just to get a reaction out of them. Like when I was dating the elk chick, right? I would do things.
Okay, yeah. I had to think for a minute because you dated a few.
That is true. I would do things to kind of have some type of emotion reaction towards, so she could react towards me somehow. So I would do.
You wanted her attention, so you tried to do things to get her attention.
A lot of things I wouldn't have done if it wasn't because of that. But yeah, you're right. Like, I feel
which look, I want to be clear, just because it might sound like I've never been that guy or whatever, but that happens. Mm-hmm. Like, I've done it where I've changed a little, or I've done things differently because I wanted to get someone else's attention, because I wanted to like date them or be with them, right? Mm-hmm. So that's understandable. But eventually you kind of start figuring out, like, well, I don't really fucking care if they like me or they don't like me,
or that's not me.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I kind of figured that out when I was like 17, 18, 19, right? I still had like residuals of like trying to be everyone's friend. Yes. But eventually I figured out, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care if you think I'm nice. I don't care if you don't think I'm nice. I don't care if you think that I get taken advantage of. I don't care if you think I'm an asshole. Like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna do the things I want to do because I want to do them. And as long as I'm not hurting or upsetting people, fuck it. Because I used to get that shit all the time, especially you're getting taken advantage of shit, right? I'm like, how can I get taken advantage of if I know what I'm doing and I'm allowing it to happen? I can easily say no. You just want me to say no.
Yeah, of course. And well, for the thing was, like, I thought that I was like, that's who I was. That's my whole mentality. I like to go out and snap. But like, little by little, after I grew up, I mean, I'm not saying like right away I realized it, right? Mm-hmm. But I like even before lore and all that stuff, like, I started to realize, like, I don't like being in big groups, but I try.
See, we're different, and I love big groups.
Yeah, and the thing is,
I don't like being the center of attention.
No, and then I thought I did too.
You used to do that all the fucking time. All the fucking time.
And I guess, like,
I somehow get to be the center of attention, and I'm just like, why y'all looking at me? Leave me alone.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't want to be in the center of attention, but sometimes I just am, and without really trying.
No, you do though. You do.
But
not lately though. I would say that not lately. Ever since we moved out.
No, I came.
I feel like you become a person that doesn't really care about being the center of attention.
No.
And you don't typically reach for it, which has been like 3 years since we've moved out.
Yeah, and
so I would say that that's changed, but no, you used to like.
No, I used to love it.
You wanted to be the center,
and that's the thing about it too. Like, that's why I was talking to her before, and like I feel like I was trying to bring sort of my past with me now, but it didn't make sense for how I function in life.
But I think you should preface that whole situation, because your relationship with her is not as simple as, oh, I did this, or I'm trying to be this, or it's not. It's way more complicated than saying that you're trying to be something else that you're not, and that's why things change. Whatever. It's not as simple as saying that, because there's complications to that. There's more than one party involved, and But to imply that it's like something because it's because I was trying to be something that I wasn't. It's not true.
No, because when we were talking relationship wise, like when this conversation came up, it wasn't because
we got back on fucking relationships.
I know, right?
Why'd you do that? Why? You fucking did it.
I was going with the whole.
You said the fucking relationship word. You said it.
Well, you said the whole.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Well, anyways, the whole because it's not technically the relationship part. Because when I was bringing up the whole me isolation, it wasn't because of the relationship thing. Like that part, I knew that I like to be with family. Like that's different. Rather than
you know what I realized? You can't fucking handle it.
Handle what?
You can't handle being isolated. You're like, I'm an introvert. You can't.
No,
handle
I'm
it.
not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not an introvert, extrovert. But I don't like being in a big group like I used to be back then. Like when that's why I was bringing it up. Like I'm okay with being with the group of the 10, probably, or like 5, because at least we know what we like. Like if I go with you, your brothers. We know that I know what I'm expecting.
I feel like luckily for me, I still have that need or want. I guess I don't know what it is. It's either a need or a want, right? I think it's more of a want, but I still have that of wanting to meet new people. Now I don't have to be the person like in a big group, but big groups don't bother me because then I get an opportunity to meet someone. Or meet someone new because of like, oh, you know this person? Like, oh, hi, how do you know this person? Like, oh, yeah, went to school together, da, da, da. And then it just kind of start having a conversation with someone. Like, I still have that need, which I feel like as you get older, you start to lose that because you're like, already comfortable. I like the people that I have. Yeah. They're who I want to be with. And me, I don't. I'm 30 and I still want that. I still want to meet new people. I still want to talk to people and have a conversation with them.
That's a little different where I'm at. Like I don't mind meeting new people.
But I don't think you've ever been like that, though.
No, well, I mean, I don't mind meeting new people if it comes to that opportunity of meeting them. For me, especially when it comes to like going out, if it's like a birthday party, I don't mind if it's like 40 people and we're all around. But like if we're just hanging out and they say, hey, like say the quarantine wasn't here right now, right? Like, hey, want to go to the bar tomorrow? Like, I would like just to be like me and you and your brothers, or me and you and your cousin. That's it. Like 5 or 6 people, because I feel like after a big crowd, if you go consistently with a big crowd, like, and they ask questions, like I don't want to be bothered, you know, like I mean, not to be a dick about it, but like, I mean, I don't.
That's funny to me because to me it's like I don't really care if people ask me questions. I'm for the most part an open book. Like there's things I'm not gonna tell you because it's none of your business.
Yeah.
And I don't have to tell you shit, right? But to me, it comes down to like, oh, if we're gonna hang out with a big group, that's cool. Like, who are they? Are they cool to hang out with? Like, that's all I really care about.
Yeah, I think
like, are there gonna be issues as far as like, is there gonna be drugs around? Because I don't really hang out with people that do drugs. Are they people that kind of fight? Because I don't fucking fight. I don't want to be around anybody that likes to fight.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I trust enough the people that are in my circle to not do the shit that I don't like, and not have people or invite people that do the shit that I don't like.
That's true, and I think the group that we have, and I like to be saying
I have.
Well, I mean, I'm part of the group.
You're the connection. I'm your connection to that group.
Yeah, you're the connection, but I think I'm a little by little kind of growing with y'all.
Well, little by little you've pushed away, so it's like
it's both ways.
Nah, I'm still your number one life link to that group.
Clear. Oh, he's back. Well, in that sense, like the group when we hang out, like it's pretty big at times, especially if it's like a birthday thing or like in a special event thing.
You know what? I've decided. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I've decided, right?
To rub me as much as you want. I forgot I haven't looked at the cameras since forever. I've been looking at you.
I've decided maybe because I feel a little buzzed, but honestly, this is making me feel so much better about the whole quarantine. But I'm coming back. Until at least quarantine's over.
Oh, thank God, because I don't want to go by myself anymore, man.
I hope y'all don't mind
No, they fucking love
viewers or whatever.
I before you came on Twitter, I said you were coming on. I don't know if you saw it. I'm like, Amy's back.
No, I was taking a little nap.
Yeah, I know you were.
I was listening to like a podcast shit, but
dude, it's because like I was listening to podcasts, and recently I was listening to The Fighter and the Kid.
They're so
they're
fucking
funny.
Good, right?
They're funny as fuck.
They're so fucking.
But I didn't know that Joe Rogan was talking to Brendan Schaub about when he was fighting. Like,
to quit.
He had 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
And
he told him straight up, "Hey, you should stop." And like that was kind of like the catechism of him, kind of what,
deciding to walk away.
Yes, and I was like, man, that's a true fucking friend. You know,
because he was worried about him.
Yeah,
he was worried that he was gonna end up like seriously getting injured,
and he was
or like have long-term effects because of it.
Yeah, and that's what in my mind I was like, man, dude, I miss my bros.
And apparently, like Brian Schaub is how you say it? Brian Schaub?
Yeah, Brian Schaub.
Like he's a really nice person. He doesn't have that like
angerness.
Yeah, that aggressiveness to be a fighter like that. Like he'll still whoop your ass.
Yeah,
he's a trained person.
He's a good fighter.
But if it's between hugging and fighting, he'd rather choose hugging.
Yeah, he'll hug you. Yeah,
which he seems like such a fucking cool dude.
I
want to meet him. Like he's him and then
the comedian dude is
Brian. His name's Brian too.
Brian too, I think so.
Brian
yeah.
Callen.
And then Lee, Bob Lee. What's his name?
Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee. Yeah, because I was listening.
You said Ali.
Well, he has a podcast too. He has a lot of
Tiger
podcasts,
Billy.
right? But he has another one with another comedian. I think it's called.
Well, all those fucking comedians have podcasts with each other.
But they all connect though, you know.
Because like, there's so many that I just genuinely like want to just be around them because they just seem like they're fun.
Don't even talk to me, bro. I'll just be in the corner of the bed.
Like
just watch out.
Like just because like Joe Rogan, especially since I started watching Joe Rogan.
I think you're a Joe Rogan compared to all of our friends.
Hell no.
I mean,
you know who's a Joe Rogan?
Who?
Your cousin is a Joe Rogan.
Which cousin?
The photographer.
You think he's Joe Rogan?
I think he's a Joe Rogan.
No, that's interesting.
He has to be the most interesting person in our groups.
Okay, well, I'm talking about intellectually wise. Like I feel like
him too. I think he's very intelligent.
Man, I miss you, bro. I didn't text him too. Yeah, because you're right. Because the reason why I was listening to other podcasts and like last night I was watching his editor of the Fighter and the Kid, how he does editing, and I was like, man, I don't know why I'm motivated to just record. I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I hope
it's Brendan Schaub. Brian Khaled,
and then
Brian Khaled,
Brian Schaub,
Brendan Schaub, and then Brian.
I don't even know why I'm trying to like talk about it. It's like right here in my fucking phone.
Khaled, I think it's Brian Khaled and Brandon Schaub. It's Brandon, because the other one's Brian. Yeah, I knew it just sounded weird.
Yeah, the Fighter and the Kid, Brendan Schaub, mixed martial art, and Brian Callen.
Yeah. And Brendan or Brandon?
Brandon. Brendan.
Is it B-R-E?
B-R-E.
Oh, Brendan.
Brendan Schaub.
Brendan Schaub.
Yeah, I was looking through the whole videos of him fighting back in the day and everything like that, and I was like, man, like it's crazy. They call him the glass jaw, you know, this and that. But that guy made it to the top 10.
They call him the glass jaw?
Well, somebody on commentary said like he had a glass jaw.
Because he fights in the UFC and gets knocked out. Yeah. It's the UFC.
He was a top 10
He's
heavyweight.
A fucking UFC. He was a UFC fighter. No, a glass jaw wouldn't have lasted in the fucking UFC. No, that's stupid.
Yeah, and
glass jaw.
The one I was thinking that just recently came out is Bad Friends. Bobby Lee and
Tom Segura?
Yeah, no, Tom Segura. But I forget his name, but he's a redhead.
Oh, is he still a redhead?
He's been a redhead.
I know he's talking about.
He's
well, it's because Bill Burr was a redhead, and then he.
Oh, Andrew Santino.
Yeah. He's fucking hilarious,
dude,
too. He's such a dick.
He's a dick,
but he's a funny asshole.
Yeah,
because like he'll say some shit, and he has this like really deadpan face, but he doesn't fucking.
Yeah. He's like,
he doesn't really fucking.
That's what he says, like,
especially
hey, bro.
when he says shit to Bobby Lee.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, when I say I love you, it's because I love you, right? Because he says it every time he hangs up on the phone. He says I love you after every conversation, because everything he said was just fucking around, and well, they only have like I think
they all just seem like great guys though, right?
And that's in my mind.
Because Joey Diaz kind of like scares me because like how he used to be.
Yeah.
But he's fucking hilarious too.
He's soft, but he's also like very intellectual too as well.
Yeah, they're all fucking great. Dude, fucking Joe Rogan. We're just talking about our people we admire now.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Joe Rogan, fucking Joey Diaz, Brian.
And in my mind, I was like, okay, we're not comedians. I know that for a fact.
No, fuck no.
They're great when it comes to content.
They put in fucking work for their content.
And the thing is, like, I think Schaub started the whole podcast, like, Fighting the Kid, while he was in UFC. And I was like, shit, like, it became like a big thing for him, and he's making back. And
well, his co-star.
Are you done with your beer? Or you're gonna do another one?
Yeah, I'm done. Brian and Joe Rogan. Man, I'm talking about like if I know them.
I know. Them. We know them because of the podcast.
Well, I mean, we don't really know them, but like
we know them.
Like they were the ones that like were the ones that helped them make the decision to like walk away from it. Which, I mean, I don't know. I love their podcast. Their podcast is fucking hilarious. Thank you. Oh, I need the bottle opener.
Oh yeah.
How long we been going? Because it feels like it's already been an hour.
I don't even know. Let me check. 50 minutes.
I said we can go for like another 30.
Yeah, that's what I was planning for too. I don't want to go past 2 hours, which again we can. I mean, but I feel like it'd be easier for me to edit without it. I'm gonna have to go over there.
Can you catch it?
Hold up.
Can you catch it? I'm gonna throw it high.
Yeah, go for it. That was fucking way high. But no, yeah, no, that was fine. But I was listening to the episodes, right? And Joe Rogan was talking to I think Brian. He's like, bro, you suck being by yourself. Like, you're not good, man. You talk a lot. Like this and that. Like you shouldn't be by yourself.
You're definitely him. You're definitely a Brian Callen.
Because I was like, damn. Like I wish somebody could tell me that, but nobody's telling me that right now. Everybody's telling me you're funny.
I tell you that all the fucking time.
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
know.
shut the fuck up, you're rambling.
But like I was talking about earlier, the Karen episode, it was good because I was drunk, so it was content where like this guy was saying stupid shit.
Yeah.
But the past episode that I was on,
You're sober.
no, I was sober.
You're also drunk.
I was sober, but I had things to talk about, and like me, when I research things, I start to question the source, and then I start to stutter because I had to learn what I'm saying, so it doesn't come out naturally. So the conversation with the Karen, like, it was all just natural. So for me, like I didn't have any stutter. I was thinking, I was pausing. And the other episode, I was pausing. I was consistently repeating the same thing, and I was like, that's not me, man. And then when that happens, normally when I have a co-host, they would come in and like just reset me and kind of like, oh hey, calm the fuck down, chill. Especially you. So I was like, man, like in my head I was like, I'm bombing the fuck out of this podcast because I haven't even put the video up yet. That's how much I didn't give a shit about the episode.
You're probably gonna put this video up before that.
No, I'm gonna have to put it up regardless. It's cringy, but I'm gonna make it more cringy with the video somehow. Just might as well dive in the cringiness. You know what I mean?
We can put some graphics on it.
No, yeah, so for sure that's what I'm gonna do. So with this video though, I think it's gonna be a very.
You can make it to where like you're zooming in on you, and like there's like a fire behind you, and you're just getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah, right.
You're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Dude, it was bad because I was talking about TikTok.
Why are you talking about TikTok?
Because the conspiracy theories on there.
Oh, what's the conspiracy theories on TikTok?
Like every conspiracy theory.
Sorry, people, I haven't heard this shit. So
every conspiracy theory that we possibly can imagine, like how Bill Gates had bought the antidote of the coronavirus.
Well, Bill Gates pretty much predicted
the coronavirus.
That we were not the coronavirus.
I mean, but that we're not prepared for it.
That we were not prepared for a pandemic.
Even
is it pandemic or epidemic?
Epidemic, I think.
It's epidemic?
No, it's pandemic. If it's going on, I think, and
it's a pandemic.
Yes, and I think even Obama, they have a clip on Twitter. Obama wanted to raise awareness of it before.
Yes, a lot of people knew that we weren't prepared for it, right? Yeah, but they didn't like predict that it would be the coronavirus.
It was a strand of a
virus. Yeah, because like we just recently realized what viruses were. You know that I had saw that. I'm like, oh wait, we didn't know viruses were a thing. Like no, people didn't know. Like people just knew about diseases, but viruses and diseases are two different things.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I didn't know they were two different things. Like you fucking learned a lot when you're like fucking. Caught up in this shit, and you're like, oh shit, are we gonna die from a fucking virus?
There was a thing, today I've learned they're cutting off funding for testing.
What do you mean?
The United States, the government.
For testing what?
For the corona. They're cutting off testing for it today.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they're making the states pay for it just because Trump doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be responsible for it if it happens to fuck up. So he's taking away the testing for that.
Well, maybe it's more of because again, they're not prepared, right? Nobody was prepared.
Dude,
it's not just the United States.
True. No, but they go on Twitter, right? And there's a graphic.
I'm not trying to defend Donald Trump.
No, I mean, I'm not defending the United States either.
But I'm just saying, like, nobody was prepared. So maybe. I can't speak for them. I don't know what you're talking about. But my assumption is always to assume better than bad.
No,
right?
I get that.
And I think my mentality would be like, if you're putting the
states in
charge of it, it's because first of all, we live in a democracy where states make most of the decisions, not the government. Government's pretty much just make sure all the states are okay, and an overall ruling of everything that's okay to be done. And then the states make the like the more smaller decisions for what that state needs to do. I believe it's more of a as of now, we only know 2 states that have been impacted the most by it.
Florida and New York, right? No,
New York and California.
Oh, really?
New Orleans, yes. Right, but as far as like shutting down, trying to prevent stuff, New York has been the worst.
The coast, basically.
Yeah, the coast. New York has been the worst. Oregon has been pretty bad, but the ones that have been in the main like spotlight have been New York and California, right? Maybe because of the governors and the decisions they've made, but I think it comes down to that's why it's probably the governors make a decision because. Like they really only know how bad it is in their state. It's starting to become bad in rural areas, like the states that are more rural than like.
I'm listening, but I want to make sure the camera's recording.
So it's starting to become the rural areas are being more impacted now than the like the city states. But maybe that's why, I don't know. I'm not a politician. I don't fucking even act like I'm intelligent when it comes to like political science, right? It could be a ploy, but even whether I don't think the pandemic.
Just go pandemic. Yeah.
The pandemic affects Donald Trump in any way. Like people are gonna look at it, dude, only one way. Like he succeeded at stopping the pandemic, or he did the best he could, not with all the resources he had. That's the only way it's gonna go down.
Well, for me, it's not even the fact that like if his approval rating is gonna be high or low. For me, it's the fact that he just basically said, "Hey, I'm gonna take the funding away for the testing." My first thought was like, "Okay, that's gonna."
But did he say where he's transferring it to?
No.
Seems
so
maybe
they updated it now, but basically, my mindset is like, "Oh shit! If you live in the states, figure out how to do it." What if they do better than other states? And what other states do better than other states, right?
But that's good leadership.
But eventually, what if they're like, you know what? We don't need to be part of this government. What if eventually, little by little, states they want to exclude themselves from the United States because there's a United States. So govern.
But there's only a few states that can actually do that.
Texas is one of them.
Texas is one of them,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
we live in it. Maybe that's why you worry about it. But Texas wouldn't do that.
And we're the home gun, pew pew pew, state kind of style. You know what I mean? And
but look at what Texas has done. Or pretty much look at what our city has done,
and it's good.
The major cities in Texas,
and I'm happy that we've gotten to.
They've for the most part have taken it pretty seriously.
Yes, and I'm happy.
And those shutdowns,
because once Dallas did it first, they shut down. Then we did it after like a week later, and then now
literally like the next week.
Yeah, next week, right? And then later they're like, hey, Easter to stay home. Don't worry about it. And then you know what churches are doing? They're doing Easter hunts on Minecraft.
Oh, that is really smart.
You know,
people have become so fucking creative. Have you thought of that?
Yeah, because it's crazy. I mean, it sucks that we're stuck in this situation, but yeah, creativity comes out a lot.
Yeah,
and even churches
get fucking bored.
Even churches, you know what I mean? Like, because remember I told you how I went to the Christian church?
Well, I know there's a guy that I work with, and he works. He's a. I don't know what they're called, but he plays in the band for the church, right? For the services.
Which church is it?
I don't know.
Because maybe it's my shirt, brother.
I don't know. I didn't ask. But what they do is they go in and they record the service on Saturday.
Okay.
And they upload it on Sundays.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense.
I was like, wow, that's actually really smart. I'm glad that a lot of churches, a lot of religions are taking it seriously.
Certain religions, yes.
Yeah, no. Well, there's a lot. There's more that are taking it seriously than there are that aren't.
The outliers, yes.
Right. You know, there's definitely more. That's a lot of things.
Let's hope that's the way they think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no,
because
that's true.
The ones on the news are the ones that are like the ones being kind of shown. Because especially like.
Because of the big churches.
Yes.
Yeah. But I always fall on the more positive thinking people are good than I do think people are bad.
Because my church, or I mean, it's not my church
Because
specifically.
people were thinking that fucking within 2 weeks of us being quarantined, quote unquote,
Done?
lockdown, people were gonna do the fucking purge. Like, it hasn't happened.
Dude, there was a cop, and my friend from work, she's like, yeah, there's this guy from Carrollton, not Carrollton, sorry, Burleson, that a cop put the purge song during the quarantine because supposedly they have a curfew for kids at a certain time, and he put the purge song so they go home. But he didn't do it because of the purge. He did it because that song was part of the army. Like it's
a military song.
Yeah, it's a military song. So
the burn,
something like that. Yeah.
burn.
And I was like, I didn't know that. And he's like, he got in trouble. He was on the news and he apologized.
That's stupid though, because I mean,
he wasn't doing it because like, oh, let's scare you.
Yeah, he
doing
wasn't.
it because
He's a fucking cop. He wasn't doing it like we're gonna murder you.
yeah,
like bitch, go home.
God, yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to be fucking out. I don't know. I mean, again, it comes down to like people are. I just feel like the people that do the dumbest shit outshine the people that are doing the right thing.
Exactly. I think
because like it's all about look at all these fucking 18-year-olds fucking going on their spring break and 21-year-olds and all these motherfuckers called Corona and da-da-da, right? And I'm like, yeah, they're fucking kids. They don't know any better.
Nope.
Obviously they fucking went to spring break and enjoyed their life. They're fucking kids. They're idiots. Most of them are idiots. Like, they just want to have sex and party.
Like, there was this thing
Like,
where
you can't be upset with them because what did you do when you were fucking 18?
yeah, we did stupid shit.
Like, think of the one thing you would never tell anybody.
That podcast, the Bad and Friends with Baba Lee and
Yeah.
they were talking about the age limit.
Let me just say, I don't condone what they did.
No, I don't
'cause they
either.
should have fucking listened.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah,
They should have stayed fucking home because you can have spring break next fucking year.
And you could say straight up, if they made the parents, they'll pay
Yeah.
for their trip. So hey, their parents,
well, not even the parents because they're 18. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
or they convince their parents to say, hey, Dad, come on, Dad.
Yeah.
Me
Did they
this-
do wrong? Yes. But are you gonna try to crucify these fucking kids? No, you
No,
shouldn't. They're
it's fine.
fucking kids. They're dumb. They don't understand. Nobody fucking knew how.
And the person the guy that wanted us says, hey, this is my spring break, bro. I just want to do whatever.
Yeah.
He
If I get corona,
yeah, I get corona. He apologized.
Yeah, he apologized. He literally apologized the following week.
Yeah, and cause he was drunk.
Well, okay, maybe
on
2
there.
weeks. 2 weeks.
But he was drunk on
No,
there.
I don't know if it's drunk or not, but I'm pretty sure it's by the time that he all the shit that
Realized
went out,
it,
and then he
yeah.
realized that he was in some shit. He also realized that because I mean, honestly, people didn't really
We were one of them.
start taking seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, don't put me one on
We were
them.
one of them, bro.
Well,
But before
I
the
took it
whole-
seriously. You wanted to go out, and I was like, oh, I'm down to go out,
Yeah, you're right.
but I didn't like go out the fucking.
But
whole
we
week.
after that we took it seriously enough for like even on the podcast we weren't gonna record, and then now obviously how far where we are, and I measured it, guys. It is 6 feet plus apart. So
This seems longer than 6 feet.
yeah, well shit, great. And then also like the chlorine.
But it doesn't change the fact that we live together, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
It shouldn't matter, but I mean, and at least.
But we wanna put a front up.
Yeah, we do.
You should also be doing this if you're hanging out with people.
And even if you're living together, do this, you know. But I mean, obviously, if you're married, and you heard that too, people who are married are getting divorce rates are higher.
Because they can't stand being with each
Yeah,
other.
because they're all normally.
Yeah.
That I mean, I don't know.
I can't stand being with you, so I'm not gonna divorce you though. Damn.
Yeah, right. Shit.
I still need a roommate.
But it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's kind of true? Like, if you're
I don't.
married,
I think it's skewed because you're applying a lot of stresses to a relationship that normally wouldn't be going to these stresses. Everyone's going through a pandemic, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people are losing their jobs, right? A lot of people are going on unemployment. Like, there's just.
by the way, we are fortunate enough to have essential work.
Yes, we are. I do not want to say what I do for work, but
I don't want to say either, but I mean, you're essential.
I'm
worker.
an essential employee.
I am an essential employee too because I work at a clinic in a pharmacy.
But you just fucking say what you are. You said you weren't gonna say what
No,
you
I've
are.
always had it. I've been talking
Okay.
about it past a couple of times, but I work at a pharmacy.
I don't want
so.
to talk about the shit that I have to do from 10 p.m. till 6 in the morning.
I'm the hero they need, but don't want.
I'm not the hero you know,
Don't deserve.
or the hero you see.
Yeah,
That hurts.
Corona. Don't forget I have water, dude. Oh, by the way, we're not sponsored by Fuzzies or Rubies. What's it called?
We're sponsored by water.
And you want to learn what I learned to being alone on the podcast is that I can hear my little noises of what my mouth does because I'm consistently talking every other second. But when I pause, like it covers that sense of sound. That makes sense.
Well, there's always talking, so you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, exactly. So, but dude, never mind. Whatever. My podcast last episode sucked, by the way.
You're so disappointed by it.
Dude, I was. And that's when I was listening to the whole podcast of like the fighter and the kid and all them and Joe Rogan. I was like, I miss my bros, man. I want to just call them, but I was like, you know what? M is naturally, me and him are natural. It's like anything I say or anything I talk about, I know eventually he has feedback. There's no such thing as pause or anything like that. Like you always have something.
I think we might have the same ideology as far as like our lives and what's going on, right? Maybe not really though, because I'm more of a positive person than you are, and you're an overthinker. And
now,
I tend to think a lot too, but not overthink like you do.
I've learned to just let the universe take my thoughts. Like I go with the waves of the universe.
Let Jesus take the wheel,
basically.
as they say.
Yeah. But I mean, not necessarily. But I just whatever. Like for instance, if you're negative about things and you consistently get things happen to you that are negative, you're just gonna be in this aurora of negativity, right? Mm. So instead of being that, like I'm like, okay, well, this happened to me that was bad, but that was just one thing. I'm gonna think positive the next thing, you know, because positivity brings out positivity. So when you're positive, so like you don't, if you think about it, you're positive. So things that happen, you don't see them as negativity, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm positive.
Exactly. So
well, I see the negativity.
You see it, but I just
kind of choose to accept that. Okay, shit. Well, there's nothing I can do about that.
Exactly.
Or I look for the silver lining.
And the Tao and of the religion. I don't know if it's Hinduism, probably not Buddhism, probably, but the act of letting go is much stronger than fighting for it. Like it's more admirable, I guess. So like if things that you're not control, like if you let go of it, you're more stronger. You're not weaker. So in my mindset, I was like, okay, well, I mean, be positive. It's okay to let go and let the universe take its course.
But fucker, I've always told you that.
Yeah, I know.
God damn.
I know. I had to find religion in fucking quotes and Alan Watts. By the way, I've
literally told you, and I remember having this conversation about like maybe 3 weeks ago.
I know, yeah, we did.
We're on the
before the fucking the porch, right?
Yeah, we're on the porch, and I was like, dude, you just have to learn to accept shit.
Exactly.
You have to learn to accept that you have no control over the situation, and that's okay. The moment you decide, or the moment you choose to accept that you have no control over it, the happier you'll be, because then it's okay. Okay, there's nothing I can do. There's no point in getting upset. There's no point in getting overwhelmed by it. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Let it go. Literally had that fucking conversation. You're talking to me like you're
I found
this new heavenly word.
Oh jeez. Oh Louise. Oh my gosh. But it was a sense like I was like, okay, like that, it felt better. I mean, obviously when I first thought about it, I was like, okay, you do that way, you know? Like my first thought was like, okay, M does that shit.
Which honestly, that part of me of like accepting that I can't control shit is recent. Like I just learned.
It's difficult, right? Because
you're young, you're dumb, you don't fucking know, man.
Like, you want to take advantage. Like, okay, dude, if I could do like, even if it's just a significant part of me that could do something differently, I want to do it. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, just be positive, let life take its course, and what outcome comes out. Obviously, there's certain things you could do your own. There's certain things you could do your like job wise.
Well, I think that the reason I am so like happy and carefree about the life I live, right? It's because deep down inside, on a basic level, I honestly believe. I might be wrong. I mean, because morality can be objective, right? Not always, but can be objective about what you believe is right and wrong. But on a basic level, I am very confident about I live my life morally right.
Yeah.
In my eyes, right?
And you do.
And so it's easy to be so positive and accepting of things when you know, okay, yeah, I might have made a mistake there, but I had good intentions, or, oh, okay, that didn't work out the way I wanted to, but I did what I had to do. I did right by that person, or I feel positive that I didn't do any wrong in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. And I think that's what people should think that way more, you know? Like, because I always think more of the negativity, right? Like, oh, I'll bring negativity around me. And
you know
like,
what?
I fucked up.
I think I should tell you that I don't think it's negativity with you, honestly. Just with relationships, especially this most recent one, you think more negative and what you should have done better. I think your issue, which it happens to everyone, it happens to me occasionally. I just think you are more overwhelmed by it because you do it more often than I do. Is you overthink things.
Yes.
You question every step that you've ever made, or you're about to make, or you want to make. You just kind of overthink things. I think that's where you start to feel
overwhelmed
and feel like you've made negative. You start to build this negative energy because you feel like you made negative. Well, you made bad choices that cause negative outcomes. Consequences. Outcomes. And I feel like that's your issue, which is just an overthinking thing, and it's just kind of it's a process where you have to kind of accept that you can't control everything and things are just gonna be what they are, right? But as far as like having negative thoughts, I don't think you really do that. I can only speak from the outside. I don't know really. I don't know what you're really thinking, but based on the conversations we had, it's just kind of like it feels like it's more of a you overthink shit.
And that's true. I do overthink a lot, and that's why I guess this whole kind of thing of thinking came out where like, you know what, let things be let things be how they are. And eventually, what the outcome comes out, like, you know, accept it kind of situation. Like, obviously, there's things you could do to make an outcome come out differently, but that's only limited enough to like to an extent.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between fantasy and
reality.
Well, no, fantasy and wishing to change things, okay, right? Or living in the past. Because I sometimes fantasize about, oh man, if I would have done this differently, I wonder what the outcome would have been. Like, oh shit, it would have been this, and it would have been this, and oh great, it would have been this crazy. And then I have moments where I'm like, fuck, if I would have done this is where my situation would be right now. And because I didn't do that, my situation is worse, right?
Yeah.
When that's not fantasy anymore. That's just dwelling on the past and trying to relive in the past. And wishing that you could go back to fix a mistake. When, if it was a mistake, then learn from it. Don't make it again, you know?
Of course, yeah.
No one's perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes. But I think there's a fine line between the fantasy of what could have been, because it's just interesting to know, like, oh, man, I wonder if this, like, oh, that would have been crazy. Oh, that would have been funny. Or like, man, I should have done this because it would have been so fucking great. And then there's the alternative of like, oh shit, I should have done this because my life would be so much better. I would be in a different situation. I would be so much happier. Those are two different mentalities, you know?
Yeah, of course. I think so too. Because I feel like if anything, that mentality of always going to the past and figuring out, okay, I should have maybe done this differently. Like, I think it makes you feel a certain type of way where you wouldn't let yourself move forward. Because if you're always stuck to that, if you're always stuck to a certain agreement of what you did in your past that you should have done differently, then there's not that process of always, you know, relieving that negativity that you feel like you did wrong back in the past. So my mindset now, which again, obviously I'm human. I think about the past every so often. I'm like, oh, you know, and it gets to me every so often.
No, but, I mean, I agree. I do the same thing.
So for me now, it's like, okay, I will indulge in those feelings and then let my emotions come out and just move past it. You know, it's not like, okay, I'm gonna ignore. I never do this. I'm not gonna ignore how I feel. I'm gonna cry if I need to, and then once I cry, okay, cool. I'm past that sadness or the sorrow that I have. But I do acknowledge the fact that whatever now in the present is, I count my blessings, and the fact is too as well is that the situation I'm in it's not bad. And at the same time, I should move forward and let destiny or whatever, the universe or religion, like take its toll. And obviously there's certain situations that I could take control of, and if I can, I am gonna do it. But in the past, it's the past, and what happened, it happened. There's no way I could do anything different. There's no way I could like think in my mind that I could have done something different. No, because in that moment, that's what I did, and my thoughts weren't different. So what I did is what I wanted to do. So I couldn't be mad if I made a mistake, because in that moment, I know I wanted to do what I did. You know?
Yeah, you made that choice or that decision because at the time that's what you wanted to do.
Exactly. So
you didn't care about the consequences.
Yes. So now, as a person past that, and a person that I've learned back. Obviously, you have to look back to make no mistakes. You know, to relearn from what you did. So now I see what I did wrong, and like, yeah, there's times where like, man, I wish I could have learned then, but it is what it is. You're in this situation now, and if you're fortunate enough to be around the person or be around people who back then weren't around, then stick to it, be appreciative, and learn to love what you have, and then do better next time and learn from your situations next time.
Yeah, I think that's a very good mentality as far as like trying to, appreciate what you have. Just because there's a lot of situations where people have less, right? As far as the people that have less, like there's not, I don't know. There's certain people that don't have anything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you say to them? But at least in your situation, like if you live in America, you're able to pay your bills. You don't live paycheck to paycheck, right?
Yes. Then,
you're in a pretty good situation. The fact that you can have a cell phone that does pretty much what a laptop does.
Well, have a fucking roof over our head, right?
You're able to eat. You're able to work. Like you should, at least that line I can say, like you should appreciate what you have because people have way less than you do.
For sure.
And you're not in a bad situation.
No, especially right now, I fucking have a fucking podcast. Like that's something that people don't even.
That you've spent your money on microphones and you are able to spend your money on microphones.
Exactly.
And still pay your bills.
Dude, I'm so close to buying that $500 microphone.
Maybe you should fix that counter before you buy no fucking $500 microphone.
I should fix the counter. By the way, like I said, people love you, man.
People love me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
But it's because you don't see it though.
I don't think your podcast or your show, which I do it because I want to support you.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to knock you down. I'm not.
No, for sure.
I'm not trying to, because I feel like this is just the beginning, right? Where you're just building your people. But you don't have enough people for it to tell the difference to where it's like, okay, 20,
that makes sense,
20
right.
people more people viewed. But if it was like, when you have other people on or it's just you, if it's only like a couple hundred people watching or a few hundred watching, and then when I come on, it's like thousands, then I'd be like, okay, I make a difference. But I don't think it's that.
I think you make a difference in the sense that you control what the fuck I say.
I feel like the difference is that you feel more comfortable.
I do, honestly. I feel
and you don't get crazy with this fucking podcast. Well, because maybe people want the crazy.
No,
people, do y'all want the crazy?
I don't know, man. Yeah, tell me.
Let you know.
Because I know that I could do stuff certain by myself. Like, okay, like when it comes to conspiracy theories, I come because I'm glad. The thing about it,
I gotta pee. I'm surprised that I'm going before you.
I know. I haven't even gone.
I'm going to pee.
All right. Well, I'll talk about this part. You go for it, because I can talk about whatever. Because I've been alone forever, and wanna. Hey, Gigi. Oh, you can pee in my room. Okay. Gigi, come here. Hey. By the way, my dog's right here. She peed on the floor, and I got mad at her, and I kind of scolded her. So I feel bad. And so I want to make it up for it. Gigi, come here. Hey, I'm sorry I scolded you for peeing on the floor. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I'll treat you with like 100% of like a whole bunch of treats. I'm sorry. So, I really feel bad about Gigi because she peed on my bed twice, and I was cool about it. But I don't know how to discipline dogs because it's kind of difficult to do discipline on dogs because what the fuck you're supposed to do, you know? So like, I mean, all I can say is, hey, go to your room, or hey, go to your bed, you know, or stay there. But like, I don't want to like throw them across the room or hit them or anything like that, because that's like fucking dangerous, and obviously like that's cruelty. But she's been great. I think she's pregnant. I didn't know dogs are pregnant. I don't even know either, because I think she's a chunky. Come here, baby. Did you come here? Hey, are you okay? Sorry, Evan's going to take a piss right now. But honestly, this episode has been great, and I feel good about it, because the Shire is a good. You know what? I'm gonna read it for y'all since he's gone. Lone Pint Brewery is a grassroots insurrection with the true beer lover in mind. We are dedicated to creating distinctive local Texas ales that are tasty. Sorry, fuck me. That are tasty, hoppy, and quaffable. We use raw whole cone hops of bittering, flavoring aroma, and dry hopping in our brews. However, an equally important ingredient is renewable energy that powers our brewery. Ooh, good job. The spent grain is fed to the local dairy farmers' cows, and spent hops live in our beer. Craft brewing is an American institution. Our brew house and tanks are from Nevada. Our boiler from Pennsylvania, our kegging machine from California, and our chiller from Oregon. And our mill from Canada. Close enough, eh? Point being, we kept the love at home, doing our part to ensure that craft brewing will always remain an American institution. So, shout out to Lone Pine Brewery. Yes, so hey guys, I really appreciate y'all for letting us drink a beer, because honestly, y'all have two cool beers, but this one, whew, it was great. It was fucking great. I pretty fucking love it. So I appreciate y'all having it. And I was talking about, you know how there was like a paragraph on the other side that I was saying I wasn't gonna read. I read it. So they have a whole bunch of renewable energy when it comes to like electricity.
Oh, they use solar panels?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is, right? Renewable energy. So they like what they said basically here, that they have however, an equally important ingredient is the renewable energy that powers our brewery. And they have craft brewing and our brew house and tanks from Nevada, a boiler from Pennsylvania, and the kegging machine, California, and from Oregon, they have mills from Canada. Like, they have a whole bunch of fucking like outlets that they go to, but they're American made basically, so that's good.
Well, there's only two renewable energies that I know of. There's like the water mill, right?
Mm-hmm. And solar panels.
Solar panels. Only two ones.
Well, did you tell me that you wanted to become a person that makes a solar panel specifically to?
Well, I thought it would be smart. Well, no, it'd be for like an AC unit. So the idea would be that the AC unit stands outside, right? And your AC unit is probably going to be the thing that consumes the most energy in your house, especially if you have it running every day. And the idea would be to kind of fit the whole AC unit or make it out of material that absorbs solar energy, and then creates that into electricity for the AC unit to run on, right? And then that, not only are you saving money because of that, but you're also helping the environment, and then kind of figure out a way where you're not using all these chemicals to create AC or coolant. Yeah, like you not use the coolant that is needed to make cold air to use an AC unit. So that was my idea. I'm not smart enough to know how to make a fucking solar panel. I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess I could do some research and figure it out. But I mean, that's not something I could do tomorrow or like a week from now or a year. It would take time.
You think you're possible at doing it?
But that would be my idea, just because things are just gonna get hotter, right? And people are lazy, and they're gonna want their AC units. And if you can give everybody AC units, not give them, but like give them what they want, which is a cool house or a warm house when things get cold or hot, and you can make that machine to be sufficient and eco-friendly, then why not? You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I think so.
If everyone's gonna have it, it's like, why are we still using gas vehicles when we can create a vehicle that's electricity?
Or water based, right?
I don't know about that,
because I've heard.
Well, I don't know because you could probably make a vehicle that uses steam but then where are you getting your heat energy?
That's true. I mean, I heard you know what, it's a conspiracy theory, it could be true or not, but continue.
Well, that would be the thing, right? Or create a transport system where it's solely based on electricity, renewable energy, right? And then people use just transportation to get around, right? Where it's so sufficient that you can get somewhere within an hour or within 30 minutes or whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And like, why are we still creating these things that are just making the environment worse? Which, I mean, it's money. Like, there's a lot of value in having gas prices, you know?
Yeah, of course. I think so.
That's why people don't build electric cars, or people they don't encourage it, you know? They might not shut it down because I don't think that's something that's possible anymore. You can like do campaigns to do it, but Elon Musk and the way he's gone about his electric car, like, people are like, oh, okay, electric cars are the future. Like, why the fuck, we can do this, why not do it, you know?
That's a car I want to get next.
But that's my thing. I just want to create something that just
helps the environment.
Well, efficient, and that's environment eco-friendly. Like, it doesn't have to save the environment. Like, just because you create an AC unit that doesn't use toxins that depletes the ozone layer and is solely run on renewable energy doesn't mean it's going to save the planet. There's other issues, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Like plastic. That's a huge issue. Plastic. So I don't want to create anything that saves the world. I just want to create something that doesn't cause damage to the world. That's eco-friendly.
That's suitable and helps the environment. Yeah. Yes. I before we end the podcast, right? There was just to give a teaser, right? Since I guess you're coming on next week.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question about trans people.
Trans people?
Yes.
Like trans.
The thought of like, should they? And this is a cliffhanger here.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop you there. The fact that you're saying should they is already making me feel like you're not gonna say something appropriate.
No. I will. Basically, the question was, right, and it's not this. It's
From a conversation we had on this podcast, you thought of trans?
No. I talked about it with Laura like a long time ago, right? But the question was, does it matter if they come to you from the get-go, or should they
disclose that they're trans?
Yeah, trans from the get-go, or even if then, like, even if they didn't before you got sexual, does it matter? And also, the thing is too, if they were trans, and depending on which depending on like if it's a guy turned to a woman or a girl turned to a man, right? Does it make you gay? So we're gonna leave that to the next time.
Can I just say one thing?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna say two things. I'm a strong believer of you love the person, not
what they are,
not the physical.
Exactly. That's why I was at.
That's not true because you're not like
no,
that.
No, it was true. Okay, well,
I mean, not trans people wise, but you're.
I get it. You're
shallow.
Yeah, a little bit shallow, but I've grown to be. I've grown.
I think you've gotten worse.
I've gotten better.
I think you've gotten worse. I mean, if we're gonna be honest on these fucking podcasts, I'm gonna fucking call you out.
I feel like I got it better.
Really? It's okay to be fucking shallow. Like, that's what you like.
Ask me what? Why am I shallow? I'm curious because I feel like I'm better.
You want me to like call you out?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Because you use references like this. This is the only thing I'm gonna say, and it's gonna definitely describe how you are.
Okay, go ahead.
You use things like this. I'm not shallow. I fucked a fat girl. Right there already. Right there. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I think that statement alone shows how shallow you are.
Okay, I agree.
That it's like you pity them, that you're giving them, that you're okay, that they should be happy that you fucked them. Because on a normal basis,
obviously,
you would fuck someone that's skinny.
Okay, I get it. I don't think that way in the initial.
Your statement definitely says that, though.
Yes, I get it,
and I think it definitely is something you think.
But I haven't thought about.
Which again, it's okay to be shallow.
No,
I don't think there's anything wrong with being shallow.
It's okay to call me out. It's okay to call me out.
No,
I'm
no,
okay
no.
with it.
Again, I'm calling you out because you're acting like you're not that, and I'm telling you, it's okay to be like that. Just remember that when a girl says I like tall guys and she doesn't want to date you because you're short, that's her being her. She doesn't date short guys.
Exactly. So
like, there's that people like what they like. And I'm not against that.
And that's why I was thinking like the reason why I said I feel like I've done better is because like now I'm more into like the personality and also the attraction.
As a guy that's 5'7", but people tell me I'm 5'6".
I feel like you're 5'6", but
I'm 5'7". I'm just fat, so it looks shorter. If I was skinny like you, I'd look taller than you.
Yeah, but I'm 5'6".
Hands down.
I am 5'6" or 7. I forget.
Well, then I'm taller than you.
I figured.
I look. I only tell you I'm 5'7" because the doctor told me I was 5'7".
I thought I was 5'8", and the doctor said I was 5'7".
You're ridiculous.
No, and the doctor said I was 5'7", and I was like, cool. And then I went to try to go to the fucking National Guard, and they're like, you're 5'6". And I was like, what the fuck? I lost an inch. I lost 2 inches already. So I don't know what the fuck I am.
Well, whatever. The reason being is that I'm short, so I've learned to accept the fact that people Mexican. Are shallow and people like what they like, and that's okay. I like what I like.
Yeah, that's true. And I think you shouldn't like other stuff that you don't like.
I'm not as shallow as you, though. Okay.
I mean, no, but like I said, the reason why I say I'm not as shallow as I used to be is because back then I used to just see it as like, okay, let's have sex. Now I see it more like the connection rather than sex. It's been a while, man. It's been a while since I had sex.
I don't think so, man. I think you're lying to yourself.
Maybe I am.
Which people should know this. You lie to yourself a lot.
Oh my gosh.
All the fucking time.
Probably, you're right.
All the fucking time.
No, that is true. I do lie to myself a lot.
You do lie to yourself a shit ton.
I've learned more throughout the lifetimes.
Nah, I don't think so.
You know
You've
what?
learned, but you haven't like adapted those.
I mean, I'm trying
those
to
learning lessons.
Hey, but we're all human, right? We all adapt.
Okay, so back to what I'm saying.
Right,
I'm a true believer of like you love the person you're with, right? Like
Yeah.
you love the person for who they are because looks fade, and eventually people get annoying, and you just want to be someone that you can spend time with, right? That you can spend a day like, perfect example right now, a quarantine with, and not feel like you have to fucking divorce them or kill yourself or hurt them, you know? Like, there's people out there. I'm not making a joke. Like, there's people out there that you just can't be around each other because it's just so toxic,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm a true believer of that, right? But I'm also a big advocate of like you should be as truthful as possible as you can. Right, and disclosing that, I don't know if that's lying or telling the truth, you know?
Yeah, of course.
That is your secret. That is your thing to live with. If you never felt like that, well, I guess we can get into it, right? That would be a good cliffhanger, like my idea of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cliffhanger.
How long we been on this podcast?
An hour and 37 minutes.
That was a good podcast.
It went pretty quick. Yeah, it went pretty fast. So we could leave this to the cliffhanger.
Do you ever feel like J Trey and K ever feel like get their feelings hurt when you talk so highly of me?
No, I feel like they understand it.
Because sometimes you make it sound like, well, they're good,
but you're better.
Yeah,
no. I don't do it that way.
Like I feel like you've gotten more views because of J Trey.
No, shout out J Trey. Hey, here's a pour. No. For sure, J Trey has bumped the views a lot. El Pepe has made the
and K has brought some people in, and he's made it more sufficient.
Sophisticated and more
sophisticated. That guy's dumb as fuck. Yeah, you heard me, K. Dumb as fuck.
So he's made it sophisticated.
He's very intelligent.
Jet Trey has made it more broad, and then he
just knows how to fucking promote the shit.
Yeah, exactly, and he's very good at talking to as well. And then, but you have the trueness. You know what I mean?
I think you just like the personality. That's what it is.
And I guess the whole, because I feel like obviously we've known each other since forever, so I feel like our chemistry is natural. I'm not saying that we're not natural with JK or
J Trey. Fuck those guys.
It's natural with them, but. Like you know me from a deeper level, so you're not afraid to say things. Maybe they aren't either, but I feel like they haven't done it yet.
Well, I go calling you out. I go about it a different way than I would call someone out that I don't know. Like calling someone out that I don't know, I would be more respectful about it. As far as like, well, I don't think that's true. Like I think you're misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
or like I think you misunderstand the situation. You know?
Yeah.
With you, it's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like that's not what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like but that's because there's a familiarity there.
Familiarity, yeah, whatever.
And so I'm able to feel comfortable enough to say something like that to you, and know that you're not gonna get your feelings hurt.
No, yeah. I mean, there's times where I'm like, oh, I'm surprised you said that, but
I don't feel like I'm disrespecting you by saying shit like that.
No, and I need somebody to tell me the truth at times, especially whenever I fuck up a lot. So I don't think
you fuck up a lot. I just think you overthink things and you feel like you fuck up more than you really do.
True, but I feel like I need that more than not. So like even if J Trey says something like I wouldn't believe him.
I think another thing that we both have in common is that I am my harshest critic, right?
Yes.
I feel like I am the one that's the hardest on me the most, hands down. No one can be
harder than your own self.
No, yeah, I mostly because I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks, but I feel like I'm the most critical about myself, and I take it the hardest from myself, right? A lot of that has to do with me not caring what other people think, and because I just kind of like, okay, whatever, I live my life, right? You are also someone that are like the hardest critic. Like you're the hardest critic to yourself. You're the most critical to what you do in life. Right. I don't know what the difference would be like, because you do care what people think, right? So to whenever somebody extent, yeah. But so people say things that criticize who you are, you kind of take it too much too hard, and you're like, yeah, I need to be better because that's what someone says, and I want to be better because, you know, I don't know if that's what your case is. Yeah, but I know me and you share that in common, that I feel like you are the hardest person to yourself, right?
My hard critic, yeah.
The hardest critic, yeah.
Well, we should get into more later on eventually, but we don't want to go ahead and prolong this episode.
Yeah, it's almost coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah, so it's 1:41. So go ahead and let's go ahead and do our outros then.
Oh, I still have an outro, right? Have you gotten better at your outro?
I've referenced your outro and Kay's outro. Like, hey, it's always good around every corner. So those are the small stuff. That's Kay's, and yours is like, hey, you don't know what people be going through, so I fuck up.
You never know when someone's gonna have a bad.
Yeah, so my shit.
You never know when someone's having a bad day, so just be kind to each other.
Exactly. So mine is basically like, hey, just make sure you tip your fucking the food workers, the people who drop off your deliveries and stuff like that. So anyway, that was your outro?
Yeah, that was my outro.
Oh, okay, fuck.
We're
me.
good.
Anyways, so join us on the next episode. We're gonna talk about trannies. Sorry, not trannies. That sounds weird. Trans people, and if dating, should they include?
If they should include?
So disclose
disclose
their transitioning to people who possibly they are falling in love with, or if they're gonna intimate with, and also if does it make you gay? Because I've heard it's not gay if it's.
But you know what? We'll talk about it on the next episode. Exactly. We'll figure it out.
Because that's my topic, and I saw Lulu Moon, the killings of Lulu Moon.
Lululemon?
Yeah, lemon.
Lululemon?
Yeah, I've it's the reason why I bring it up. I'll talk to you about it eventually in the next episode. So maybe we make 2 of those episodes separate, because if together it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's been the Tap House. So KM, take us out. You already did it.
I already said it.
Okay.
Y'all just be, especially now with things that are going the way they're going, and everybody's just fucking tense because things are just fucking hard. Just be nice to each other. They might just be having a bad day, and then a bad day with the shit that's going on can be probably one of your worst days ever. So be nice to each other. It helps. It really does.
And be kind to one another. And if you have time to donate to people, if you have some type of money to people, anyways, just do what you need to do. Anyways, bye.
Bye.